All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Golden Kamuy, Season 3, Episode 9. All right, it's happened.
Mm-hmm.
We had a hina from Ogata. Mm-hmm. The world is all right now. There's nothing that can possibly go badly because that happened.
Nothing's all going to get blown to hell or anything like that.
I mean, I'm sure it
Once
will.
Ogata purrs his fucking cat purr of just like... I'm like, fuck yeah, you have a heart? Ogata?
Yeah, exactly.
I heard it. I felt it.
At this point, I'm just like, all right, Ogata, at some point, you are going to help Shiraishi rescue Ashirpa from Kiraranke, and you're gonna, like, just go gallivanting off into the sunset like you're the Hound and Arya, with, like, I don't know, I guess Shiraishi there too. You know, like that's, it's set in stone, it's gonna happen, now we just need to see it.
Well, Kiraranke is gonna blow up Ako prison, or at least a few pieces of it.
Yeah.
But needs to wait for the right timing of things here. That feels like something a little bit bigger that he's planning here than just the blowing up of things. He's wanting to like pin this on somebody or something. But that's going to be a whole deal there.
It will.
But meanwhile, Hijikata is still on the trail of the skins
and he
ended
got
up
one.
finding one.
So
which
there you
means
go.
He is now back in the game.
And everybody else has to accept
at some point
that he is in the game.
And continuing with Sugimoto and crew, they're catching up.
Yep.
And now we have seen direct connections between Kiraranke's group's location and Sugimoto's with the lighthouses. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Nice little transition tonight.
Oh, was it just we wait until nighttime to...
Oh, shit. Revolutionary. He's trying to shag a stag.
Something like that.
Oh my god, you dork! You fucking dork!
Oh,
Oh,
I would only
So
do that
kinky.
for Surumi.
yeah. Oh, I'm really thinking about it! Oh my god!
Wow.
I love this anime so much. It is awesome. Oh. He's like, yes it is. Oh, gets his little glance like,
Yeah.
he's like, what the fuck?
What's with his hair? Looks like only half of it is buzzed.
Oh, because of the thing that they do to the...
About the prisoners. Yeah.
This motherfucker.
Yep. Gotcha, so that they can... Okay. Yeah. Not be noticeable as prisoners after the escape.
Oh, quick.
Oh.
Let's meet our new little tertiary character. Okay. So Russian and Japanese household. Cool. Whoa, back in the day.
Okay.
Whoa.
All right. Dame.
Oh my god. Desho? Hi.
He's progressing a lot better than they are.
Yeah, the way they flinched like that. Yeah. Oh shit.
Nothing wasted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. She knows the
All right.
high class, you know. He like, yeah, he's smart. He's picking up on things. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Shit.
That would definitely, All right.
Okay.
So how did that end?
It's crazy. They were like 2 or 3 decades too early. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Well, we can imagine how this goes. Oh.
Crap. No.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No. Fuck. Not gonna say a thing. Yep. No way.
Holy shit.
So are they tying this together with the girl from the lighthouse and everything, or?
I don't know.
Told ya. Yep. Holy shit.
Wow.
What a fucking G. Like, this guy is
Just like the founding fathers intended.
just
Holy hell. Fuck.
yeah. Shit. Oh.
Oh, no, okay.
Oh god.
All right.
We both thought the same thing. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for... She already had done it. Yeah, I was gonna say that first one that they just, like, went right past. Oh my god, and god, the baby too. Fuck.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And so this baby is the that she holds on to at the prison and stuff.
Yeah,
That's like, I'm going to kill you all if you don't leave right now.
I understand it was an accident, and I am keeping composed for right now.
Oh.
Holy shit.
And so he thought the baby was going to die, so he was okay with her taking the baby, and now she's... Oh, no, it did kill the baby. Okay, wow. Yeah. Wow. To then go all the way around through Karafuto. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Nice.
Awesome.
I'm not going with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
The torture wouldn't break her, but this did.
Give us the name, come on.
No!
Oh my god. Oh! Are you kidding me?
I was gonna say the machine gun felt very like that nice little callback there. Holy fuck. There he goes again. Somebody else will be having some backstory, and then boom, Tsurumi's there. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. This mad lad. He's like, nope, you thought it was Kiraranka's backstory?
It was I, Tsurumi.
It was my backstory the whole time.
Golden Kamuy.
This episode sent chills up and down my spine.
One of the best plot twists we've had in this anime. This episode.
That was truly delightful. Like it answers so many questions I didn't even know I had.
Yeah.
Like, why, did Tsurumi even, Tsurumi, yes, he's involved with the whole thing with the war, but, where did that vision come from? Was it born out of the war? Okay, maybe, but,
Right, but also the whole thing of where he almost felt there was this aspect of Tsurumi that we just kind of threw away to the madness of, he had a really bad injury, but it led to him doing this thing here. But we know, based on recent episodes and some other episodes, that he had this vision for what he was doing long before the war started. He was just going to use the war to capitalize on and recruit men. But the thing that was interesting about this was it felt like there was almost this act of not just punishment, but retribution for these men of violence that need to all swath and die and bathe in the blood of death.
Yeah.
And he was sitting on the sidelines laughing. And it felt like he was kind of he was almost laughing at the cruel joke of humanity, right? But no, it was personal. It was specific.
Well, and on top of that, the idea that if you think about when he was first introduced, right? The idea of, okay, he had a head injury, and he discounted the head injury. He's like, oh yeah, it makes, sometimes I lose my temper, but, and we discount it because we're like, yeah, a crazy person doesn't know they're crazy.
Right.
No. There really was shit that went past that, and he's like, yeah, no, I know the way I have changed as a result of this.
I'm never coming back.
But it is inconsequential in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I think you're right. Is that one of the things I had forgotten was that Tsurumi is shown to be an old man.
Yes.
We can tell that he's at least 45 to 50 years old.
Right.
At least.
Yep.
Now, here's the thing. That's not super crazy as far as things go. But we have a couple things that we know based on the way this story presents its characters. Most of the characters are actually relatively young. Most of them.
Sure.
We have one character in the main character scheme of things that is really old. And that's Hijikata.
Right.
But Tsurumi sandwiched between these two. Why? Why did the story decide to have this character be 20 years older than the average other characters?
And there could be a part of that where it's just he's one of the people in command, so it makes sense that he'd be a bit older or whatever. Yeah, sure.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It's because there's another cast of older characters that we haven't introduced yet.
Yeah.
Ashippa's father, Kiraranke.
Yeah.
And then also now Sophia. Yep. All of them are now at main character status with regards to the way that they've been attached, not just to fucking, Shirpa's father, but also to now fucking Tsurumi, who Tsurumi was this person who, ascended the ranks through whatever means. That's another thing that we just didn't have an answer for, but now we know. Oh, he was a fucking legend. He comes back to Japan with the I did my duty. I was a spy. I did this stuff here. Great. Now I'm back. So, give me my rewards. Give me my stuff there. I'll bet you anything that's part of the reason why he's pissed off at Japan as well.
Sure.
He came back and probably didn't get that much reward for what he did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Probably might have even been, barely, maybe even demoted or something. Because
put into the army as a punishment or whatever.
Right. Because he didn't maybe report back in time because he stayed in Russia for, a long time.
Although I could also see it being something where if he was a spy and, there's not a record being kept track of in public places of, this is our number of spies. When everything goes bad, he's like, okay, I want to do all these things. if you're going to set up someone to be a master manipulator, that'll, like, you can just have it set up where it's just they're a master manipulator.
Yeah, they're just smart,
like
you
that.
know?
Yeah, they know how people work or whatever. No. This guy was probably specifically trained to be a master manipulator.
Yep.
Like, that makes a ton of sense, right?
These are all questions we're getting answered that we were just willing to accept because we were just like, okay, cool, that's how he was introduced.
And that's what, like, that is such a wonderful way to do a twist. And the fact that we have been getting all of these episodes, in particular in this season, that have been giving additional context to Tsurumi through other people's backstories.
Through Sophia, through Kiroranke,
through Ogata, you know, right? And we're getting all of these things where we're like, wow, these backstories are so good. But also, damn, Tsurumi is a standout in every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all to just set us up, to prep us so that we want the backstory. And then, oh, hey, you do it again, but you do it in a place where we don't expect it. Because, if it's in the 7th, obviously we're going to see Tsurumi, right? Or have some influence of Tsurumi.
Oh, we're in Russia? Right? Oh, no, this is some really dedicated stuff for this trio.
We're getting Kiroranke backstory, which also makes sense because, like, in a previous episode, I was talking about how I don't think that Kiroranke is going to outlive the season. So it makes a lot of sense, even in a meta angle, to give backstory to the current main antagonist that might be getting defeated and or killed in this season, right? But no, hey, surprise,
we're gonna be more
surprise,
efficient than that.
We're going to be more efficient. Yeah, and the whole talk about the wolf with the efficiency and stuff, and it's like, oh, nothing's wasted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you
left
see
alone, there must be something wrong with them.
Like, both with Tsurumi being left alone after his wife and child were killed, but then also the, this solitary backstory. Do you really think we're going to do something so straightforward as that?
No.
Like, and also
narrative convenience is made for this kind of a review.
Exactly. And like, the other thing that I want to say, the fact that at the end of it, when we get the whole thing of, he understands that it was an accidental shot, right? And he's like, and he had gotten close to them, right? So it's the, hey, go. They'll be here soon. And then
we can't change the past.
We can't change the past.
Yeah.
And then there's the hesitation. He's like, no, get the fuck out of here, right?
Go now.
That is a contrast to how we see him at the very beginning,
right?
Where as a result of, in the present day with everything that's happened, brain damage, all that stuff, he has a short temper.
Yes.
Here, he demonstrates fantastic, temper control, right? And then the fact that he also reveals it not to any of the characters in the present, but to his dying wife. That's not my real name.
No.
My real name is... that's such a perfect character reason to give a reveal, while also at the same time...
not revealing to anyone in the story. Yeah.
Yes, and the thing is, we didn't need it to be a reveal in order for it to be meaningful.
Right.
Because we were already emotionally invested in what's happening, right? We had an emotional, one-off character episode last episode, and then, oh, hey, we get another one. Great. So, there is no part of this where we're expecting something other than... oh, that's convenient. And again, narrative convenience. Why did there just happen to be a spy here? Okay, all right. I mean, Golden Kamuy does all kinds of things. Why did he have a machine gun concealed in his camera? Okay. But hey, no, not only is it a convenience for this episode, but also we're going to show you why that convenience is relevant.
Now.
Because, I mean, my brain is hurting. This is giving me so much inspiration and desire to do something like this in a story because this is so cool. The twist works and we're totally surprised by it, and yet it's not the shock of it that is what makes it what makes it great.
It's not the fact that it's a twist.
Right.
What it is that it's we were given the expectation that this was a Kiroranke, Sophia, and Vilk backstory when it was that. And also, it was a Tsurumi backstory.
Right.
Which is so fun, because then it takes scenes like the one at the river with the wolf, where we can see the way in which I completely love the way in which visual storytelling is used by the way a character reacts in their body language.
Yeah.
We have the medium of anime here and manga. So in a lot of ways, you actually have to be very careful about what you would draw your character physically reacting to.
Oh, okay.
Because in a manga format, you have to draw a whole ass other panel just to communicate that little twitch or something like that. So in almost a brilliant sense of like efficiency in this regard, the fact that Tsurumi has so many times in the backstory here that he doesn't react in his body.
Yes.
It's actually a form of characterization that stuff doesn't phase him. It's the internal stuff of him going, oh, I'm noticing this. But then we have the question of, wait, so you notice them doing this.
Well, and the thing is,
you're not reacting physically, meaning either you're not bothered by it, you're more complicit with them, you maybe figured it out and you're okay with it. And then it's the like, no, it's that he was okay with it, absolutely, but also none of it phased him.
So one of the important things for twists that is something that really bothers me when it doesn't happen is that if a twist recontextualizes a bunch of things and like gives that extra rewatch value, great. But you still need to have the first experience hold up, right? Because you don't want it to be something where you need to bank on it fixing everything before. Both experiences have to work. And so with something like The Wolf, you know, I'm seeing this and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is showcasing that he doesn't need to be a cautious person. If a twig snaps, you know, whatever, right? Whereas they're like, oh shit, we have people chasing us. And so of course the regular person clocks that, right? But then on top of that, the fact that we're able to get the internal thoughts of the character that is lying to the other characters and has the twist with regards to their identity. And it's not like...
because it's not relevant to them. Like, it doesn't mean anything to them. It only means anything to us.
Well, it's not relevant to them, but then also on top of that, he's such a different person here than how he ends up being, because of course he is, that there doesn't need to be a reason for that difference, right? Of how they feel in their head. Because he's a totally different person here. Like, I cannot gush enough about how well this twist worked for me and how much I love it. And like,
and we already loved Tsurumi as a character.
And we already loved Tsurumi.
So like the fact that we were almost feeling this anticipation of like, wait, who are you? Like, we were realizing like, oh shit, I do want to know who you are, Hasegawa. What is that thing? What is that je ne sais quoi that we felt about you all this episode, where you just feel like, okay, you're a spy. Okay, that tracks. Okay,
and as he's like parsing it together, that like they're more than they seem. I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's just like, hey, he's a really like small scale, like with his like thought process of like, hey, these are good people. I like these people, and so but maybe there's some danger, but I'm not gonna,
right. But it's also I'm a Japanese spy. I don't give a fuck about the Russian government in that regard.
No, exactly, right. But even also, before we get that reveal.
Right. But also, then it's okay, so all those times that he was realizing he was holding revolutionaries in this space there, he was actually a good guy all along. So what we're setting up in my mind was cool, he's going to be a big character
in the present
when we catch up to him in his old age. And it's exactly.
Yeah, he will. Just in not the way you think, right? So exactly, that is another layer, so that way we think it's already being efficient, because we're like, yes, there was like,
we're introducing another character. That's cool.
There's relevance for this backstory happening now, not just from the standpoint of, oh, might as well get some backstory with Kyoranke and maybe he's going to die soon.
We're actually going to follow up on this at some point later.
He'll
be a season 4 character or something.
And the thing is, that also works for a couple different reasons, because we've been introducing new characters quite actually frequently in the last several episodes.
Right. So we're moving through them and getting
we're moving through them, but we're also in a new location. So all of these things just make sense. So another character intro. Great.
Why not?
And effectively, that's what this is, because now we actually know
who Tsurumi
is.
He's been fighting this war with Russia for a while. He's been fighting this war with Japan for a while.
Yeah.
He's felt caught between these two countries as they're butchering the people that he cares about between him for a while. And so this isn't just a fight against Russia or Japan. This is him actually taking the idea that they probably talked about of we're going to make an independent Hokkaido. We're going to make our own nation.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to do this. And he's like, yes, we are. I'm going to do that. And in some ways, no, I can't leave it to dumb fucks like you who get people killed in the mix of all this. No, it's going to have to be me. And he takes the glasses off. And he's just good. Like, I'm going to slowly but surely
He puts the glove on, fine, I'll do it myself.
Exactly.
Like this is
terrifying.
So something else
is an actual villain arc.
Yep.
In no meme, like the whole thing. Like,
So a couple other things that I want to bring up. So this episode I essentially consider to be the equivalent of like the Disney villain song, where it's this is who the real threat is. This is what the situation is. Because when early on in season 1, when we were introduced to all these different characters that were like going to be antagonists and things like that, Tsurumi was actually the one that I was kind of the least interested in. Because I'm like, okay, you've got a crazy guy. Cool. You know,
we always need one.
Yeah, we always need one. That'll add some good energy and chaos to the situation. But then I see this deep voiced, old samurai, Hijikata Toshizo, with the, I'm like, oh no, this is totally our main antagonist, right?
Right.
Like, this dude is totally where it's at. And yet, with the things that you were talking about in the previous episode of like, well, historically, we know that, like Hijikata at the very least can't win, and, Tsurumi either. But like,
well, right. But sure. But like, the vision of Hijikata specifically is doomed.
Right.
Yes.
But like, no, this is Tsurumi is our main villain. Like, there is no way you could top this, right? And it's and the amount of time that we've been able to spend with him without it actually being like, us even like needing to enjoy him that much, like even if you didn't enjoy Tsurumi, all the moments that he had, you would still enjoy because there are other things that that's what it's mainly about, right? And so that way you can be wooed, seduced, etc. by Tsurumi as a viewer in the same way that he gets in the heads of everybody else, and just be like, oh yeah, no, isn't he great? Isn't he a little scary? And wait, what's going on with him? Oh, he's effective and terrifying, and then suddenly, oh my God, oh no, like
he is a simple, broken man with pain and conviction. And that's it. You can't stop him. You have to kill him. Like that's the thing. This is the kind of person who I would be terrified if he was the antagonist in any anime. He's the kind of character where you can absolutely understand on a fundamental, basic human level where his motivation and drive and desire comes from. The fact that he has come so many times to have brushes with death, and he almost laughs his way through it. There is a cruel, sick joke that he's been laughing at all this time, is that he's lost everything. He's been reborn, and every time he brushes with death and has that moment that he's like, I could be revisiting with them. I don't know what he believes or anything like that, but just the idea of having the sweet release of death hit him, he probably would welcome it. There's nothing about him that would fear death. Then him going through with this crazy Machiavellian scheme here as he slowly worms his way like a fucking mind flare into the into all the minds of these soldiers as he wins them over, with in some ways attacking them the same way he was probably attacked. You could even look at this and going, oh shoot, like maybe on some small tiny level, this is something that I actually think is way too deep. It probably isn't right here because it kind of ignores a couple things, but it's something that I think could infer some other things about his character. Is that I think that he got stirred up by their revolutionary fervor. So he then, rather than being like, hey, you guys are bringing activity into my place of peace, I need you guys to actually move along, because he probably isn't scared of them. He's like, oh, I could pop them, but that I need to keep my family in this safe place here.
And he even does that with the, hey, I'll come get you later. Hey, you guys can't come here anymore. Not I turned you in.
Exactly. Which was such a fun twist within that.
Because I thought it was we think turned them in.
He did turn them in.
Right.
And we find out, no, they're here for him. Which then leads to the thing where he then feels like not only does he owe them for saving his life, really. Like, because they were there, he's like, oh shit, my cover's blown. We're pulling out the machine gun. Like, that's how bad this is.
Right.
But also, they trust me. They will go and kill everyone for me. We actually have a very weird chance of being able to clean this whole thing up and just continue. But before that, he probably realized, oh shit, I made a mistake. Because I got into their story and I learned who they were, I then wanted to believe that I could do something with my skills to set them up to then go back to Japan and do what they could. But, and I think this is a really cool thing here.
Because I cared about other people and tried to help them, I got fucked.
Right. Not just because I cared about them and stuff, but because I didn't know who they really were. There's a difference between them. We had the group that went back to Japan, but we had the other group that was, Sophia, was like, no, I'm going to stay here.
And that's why he needs to be able to be the manipulator, because it's I can't let there be, think about it. He needs to fully be manipulating people because his inability to control what his wife did is what killed her.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
He told her to do something. Go, I'll come get you, but don't come back until I do.
Yeah.
Right.
Seeing the poster, the wanted poster, as he realizes.
Yeah.
Like it all boils in his realizing
he sees all the reason that
all the domino effects that had to go off, but realizing, no, this is my mistake.
Sure.
I can't blame them for this.
Yeah.
But also, if I had not just let them be like, no, you guys are revolutionaries, I will teach you a little bit, but I need you to leave now, he might have been able to pull that photographer, that's not me. Maybe he gets out of that situation by then. But
and on top of that, the not that I think this would be what his thought process would be, given that he's such a manipulator now, but if he had told his wife a bit more, so that she knew exactly why she couldn't come back, right? Maybe it would have been different.
Even then,
it doesn't mean it would have, but oh man.
Even then, just the fact that the story combined so many different little things, which do have some fun little narrative conveniences in them, for the sake of efficiently delivering this much characterization for this cast or this side of the cast here. I will say it. I will say it 100 times. This is my favorite part about ensemble cast narratives. Is that what you can have is a infinite combination of people that are actually connected.
Yes.
But they don't know necessarily that they're connected. Or even if they do, only one of them knows that they're connected to these people.
No, this is Golden Kamuy is like a dissertation, I feel like, on how to do ensemble casts.
It's wonderful.
And not just because of this episode. The proof is in the pudding long before now, with the way that it'll constantly shift up the cast of who's hanging out with who.
Just Ogata is one of them.
Yeah, just Ogata is one of them, but Hijikata or Mr. Dick
Ushiyama.
Yeah, Ushiyama. And just the way that it's We'll just take these characters and mix them up, and fun stuff will happen within the chaos and everything. Yeah. And it will never feel like because somebody else it'll never feel like we can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
And so that they just fall into their shtick or whatever.
Can I make a fun comparison here?
Yeah.
There's another anime that is lauded as one of the greatest anime of all time, at least almost to a memes sense, that did a very similar type of thing like this with regards to an army cast of characters that all had a very tragic event in their past where they fought somewhere.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give too many spoilers, but if you know what it is, they're a bunch of military people in blue that had a traumatic event that had many of them all end up in the same place. And when you realize how many characters were all involved in this thing, and they keep peeling back the layers on what happened for that war tragic event that then led to the motivations of those characters spiderwebbing out into all those ways. That's why that anime, which is a lot more, I would say, kiddish than this anime is in a lot of ways, still has that power of the ensemble narrative. But this one, specifically handling the loss and the ways in which humanity was absolutely torn away from people because of the war.
Yep.
But those characters still found something in the midst of that, and it pushes them to these such incredible extremes that we can have them be comedic characters in the same breath as also being these terrifying Machiavellian manipulators, for instance.
Hey, you want your opium? No, bad, stop, bad, right? And yet, if you think about it, like going from just rewinding time in my head space.
I know.
When we were getting a lot of the backstories for the characters, and it would be like, oh wow, this is so well tied into the themes of Golden Kamuy of like loss and being scarred by the war and all that stuff. The way in which I thought of it was in contrast and comparison to Tsurumi.
Yeah.
Because Tsurumi is the obvious crazy person, and so it's the, hey, here's the way in which nobody's safe.
Yeah.
Everybody is a little bit like Tsurumi.
Yep.
And then we get this shit after that. And it's the, hey, everybody's a little bit like Tsurumi. Well, hey, we're gonna use that as the lead-in to tell you exactly what Tsurumi's like. Like, that's so fucking good.
Yeah. We can keep gushing about this forever, but the rest of the episode happened too.
Yeah, and it was great,
and it was fantastic.
Right,
like we learned so much about Vilk's character. I love the way in which his thing was that he ended up kind of picking up on the idea that they needed to go back to Japan and settle things there. That's probably the lead into where the gold ends up tying in with all this stuff. It's also then kind of a fun way in which Tsurumi has been kind of chasing the trail of Vilk also this whole time as well. That's something that allows us some foreshadowing to the ways in which we can follow up with Tsurumi's backstory when he comes back to Japan, which won't have to happen anytime soon, but it's just a fun little thing there. Also, the way in which we're setting up a prison break here through the tying in of retreading the steps of the past with the crossing over through Karafuto's, the ice flows near there and stuff. That's wonderful. But then also just having some really good moments of adult characters kind of realizing that they can't get what they want entirely here, and they have to make sacrifices and decisions in that regard. I think one of the things that's a bit frustrating with watching primarily anime that's meant for a younger audience is there's a lot of themes of you can have everything you want as long as you like do things with your friends and stuff. And so sacrifices aren't usually a theme of the story that have actual real staying power.
Yes, and sometimes that can be what we...
Oh, no. I'm just basically saying that the characters of Kyoranke and Sophia really exemplified that this episode by Sophia in the past deciding to stay, but then Kyoranke here in the present deciding, I'm going to risk it all on a crazy prison break because I owe it to her. Like Kyoranke, I get that you want to do the craziest thing with all your power of friendship revolutionaries and go and save Russia and, save all these people and stuff. And you really think you're the protagonist of your story here. But it sucks for us as the audience who slowly but surely are getting a little bit more invested in you and want to follow that narrative. We know that it also can't end well. Like, it also can't go the way that you want, where you want to have everything. You want to have the gold to fund the means of this revolution. You want to save all these minorities in the East. You want to also, stop Russia's, totalitarian emperor state and stuff like that. And it's just... bro, like,
because sometimes you need that brash optimism, power of friendship kind of stuff to give you that reminder to just keep pushing, because you never know when finally you'll break through or whatever, right? Because you can't know. At the same time, almost like the definition of growing up is being able to accept that that's not always the case, and that sometimes you need to make those tough decisions. You need to, be able to sacrifice things, and that's what makes attaining the things, that's what makes you able to appreciate them, right? It's the actual struggle to get there and everything. And as a part of life, sometimes the struggle just sucks, right? Sometimes the shit happens.
And there's no way out of it.
And there's no way out of it. Sometimes it's just, fuck, you did everything, hopefully right. It's like Tsurumi couldn't have reasonably thought that, anything would have gone the way that it went. And then, oh, hey, nope, your wife and child are dead. And you get to, hold that tiny still hand on your fingers and then watch them burn because, well, you can't, you got to disappear.
Go back.
You can't go back. It's all done.
You have to be reborn here. Yeah.
Yep. That's crazy.
That's wild. I love in some ways that we know he's using his real name now because Surumi, but what that means, I don't want to go back into Surumi discussion here because that's this whole other thing here.
Yeah, we can talk about that for
means that
forever.
in some ways he kind of went back to face the music as well.
Right.
He has not kind of fallen into the I am an Eisen figure, like
there's no
manipulating
self-deception.
everybody.
It's the this is me.
Yeah.
And while I won't always show people who I am going to be very upfront
Honest
with myself.
Yes.
Because I could see it being something where he maybe enjoyed the spy life of like, no, I could just stay here. You know? Like, I could just stay here.
I don't have anyone commanding my detailed movements and stuff like that. That also informs a little bit as to why he hated the higher-ups with regards to Japan's military and stuff. It's the, like, no, when I was out there doing my best to save all you people, I was given free reign of movement. I was just told, go and just feed a constant trickle of good value back home. And in exchange, I had to give up and lose everything.
Right.
And now I'm back here and having to follow stupid people's orders and stuff and get people that I care about killed. Because this is the other part I don't... I know. But Surumi does actually care somewhat about his soldiers, even if he's a cold Machiavellian...
Because they're him. He's seeing himself, right? Before his wife and child were killed. Like, just, even every time that we see him using a machine gun, and it's like, oh, he seems to get especially excited, right? It's not just because he got a taste for violence. It's because this was the thing that I kept around just in case everything went bad so that I could keep them safe. And oh hey.
It wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
but anyway, Sophia made the decision to stay. I like that decision. Yep. I also like that we kind of have this deconfirmed that she was potentially Ashirpa's mother. So,
but we do know that. Oh, hey, here's why she has taken such a liking to Svetlana.
Yes.
Because the show doesn't have to spell it out. It's very clear.
Spell it out. It's very clear.
Yeah.
So they go back to Karafuto or the peninsula, which then ends up ending with them going to Hokkaido and all that stuff. So that's their connection to the story there. We don't need to follow up on their stuff anymore. But now we're going to get the time between this decision for Sophia and the present where she ends up in Akko prison. And now we're going to try and break her out. Yep. And we have our classic same kind of finale setup that we had in season 2, also for season 3 with prison
somehow
break.
Like I care so much more about this than I did about Abashiri.
No, you don't need to compare them. They're both great. They're both wonderful. This one is just one where, in some ways, because we have less people in the prison that we care about for this one here, because there's actually less people involved in that regard, we can accept more chaos from what's going to happen here.
Right. It's the progress happening with the side characters, where then it's the who knows how this will go. Right.
Yeah. Whereas in the season 2 one, we had so many characters involved in the general side of things,
and such
that we're more just like, hey guys, please don't kill each other.
Right.
Here.
Right. It's the how do we make sure that when Ogata turns on them, he doesn't just kill Sugimoto. Right? Stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But Sugimoto's crew is on their way as well, and we have a reason for Ashirpa and Kiroranke and Ogata and Shiraishi's crew to go and wait so that they can catch up.
And
And
so something last thing I want to say from this.
Okay.
The fact that we got Ogata's focus, so as one of the most recent one before this, given that his whole situation is that he was the other person that was the example of this is the crazy person, right? He's the cold, doesn't care about anybody.
He's not hot, he's cold.
Yeah, he's not hot, he's cold. The cold crazy. And the struggle that we were getting with him was, can he actually change? Can he reclaim that innocence and such? And here, then we have what I'm convinced now is the main antagonist, and showing how they lost that innocence, they lost that chance at peace, right? So it's like it's so just deeply tied to all of the other characters and everything that it's yeah.
Yeah, I think the tragedy of Ogata is he has very little plot armor keeping him going here. He still is going to help with things here, but I could see him realizing, like Sophia in this regard, your path that keeps you guys going forward is not where I'm going.
Right.
And I am excited for the potential inevitable betrayal that Ogata will pull here.
Sure.
Yeah. Given that, yes, he is the sly one, you do need to be watching your back, Kiraranke. There's a couple things that are reasons why he could end up screwing this whole thing up. And yet, like, he's alone. Right now, there's not much he's really got that he can benefit from immediately. So just, make sure you don't push him into the, okay, you have 25 people now that you're in your party, Kiraranke. Ogata now might feel a little bit outnumbered there.
Right, and be like, I'm going to have to dip and or level the playing field.
But okay, really, really exciting stuff that we're setting up here.
Such a good fucking episode.
Really excited for the just general finale-esque episodes of season 3.
Yes.
But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So yeah, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.